Roman Reigns punishes Paul Heyman. Huge twists await on WWE Raw Tonight. CM Punk attempts to attack Cody Rhodes. The truth behind the attack on Jade Cargill. Penta joins the Judgment Day. Becky Lynch returns on Raw amid a troubling situation. Jey Uso is set to miss WrestleMania 41. Why Paul Heyman is betraying Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Let's dive right in. Huge twists await on WWE Raw Tonight. Tonight's WWE Raw is set to be an unforgettable roller coaster, keeping the boss, Adam Pearce, on his toes. With WrestleMania 41 creeping closer, less than a month away, the Stamford crew is pulling out all the stops to build an epic lineup. The general manager might step in with some big calls to keep the chaos under control. Here are 4 things Adam Pearce could shake up on the Red Brand tonight. Number 1. Adam Pearce might suspend Rhea Ripley. Last week on Raw, Rhea Ripley stormed the ring during the contract signing between Sky and Bianca Belair for their WrestleMania match. She grabbed the pen and signed it herself, even though it wasn't her spot to take. Pearce was steaming mad, and the two went nose-to-nose in a fiery shouting match. Tonight, he might drop the hammer on the Nightmare, suspending her for snatching the contract and ignoring his authority. Number 2. Judgment Day banned from interfering in Penta versus Braun Breaker. Last week, Braun Breaker powered through Judgment Day's dirty tricks to defend his Intercontinental Championship against Finn Balor. The sneaky group tried to mess with the match, but Braun's speed and strength shut them down. After the bell, Penta stepped up, staring Braun down and staking his claim for the IC title next. Judgment Day's bad blood with Breaker is still boiling, though. To stop their meddling, Pearce could slap a ban on the faction, keeping them far away from Penta and Braun's title clash. Number 3. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul match announcement. Back on March 10th, things got wild on Raw when Logan Paul and AJ Styles clashed. It started with a heated argument, then exploded into a brutal beatdown after Styles jumped in to save comedian Andrew Schultz from Logan's fists. Tonight, the tension could hit a breaking point. Styles might march out and demand a fight with the YouTube star. Pearce could make it official, setting up a one-on-one showdown between Styles and Paul for next week's Raw. Number 4. Number 1 contenders tournament for the World Tag Team titles at Mania. WrestleMania 41 is right around the corner, and WWE is racing to lock in a dream card for the biggest night in wrestling. Tonight, Pearce might drop a game changer that sets the stage for Las Vegas. He could kick off a tournament to decide the number 1 contenders for the World Tag Team Championship. The team that comes out on top will earn a golden ticket to challenge the champs, the War Raiders, for the titles under the bright lights of Mania. CM Punk attempts to attack Cody Rhodes. At a recent WWE live event in Europe, CM Punk pulled off a funny moment when he tried to sneak attack Cody Rhodes. It happened during the company's 3-week trip overseas, and the two stars also shared a warm moment after their match. As part of the Road to WrestleMania tour, Punk and Rhodes joined forces to battle Gunther and Solo Sikoa in a tag match. Inside the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham, England, the crowd went wild as the two heroes took down the World Heavyweight Champion and the ex-tribal chief of the Bloodline. After the win, they soaked in the cheers together. Cody hoisted Punk up on his shoulders, while Punk stood on the middle turnbuckle. The fans roared with applause, but then Punk, with a sly grin, tried to smack Cody with an elbow to the head. He chuckled after the playful jab, and Cody didn't even seem to catch it. The celebration rolled on, with Punk firing up the crowd using his classic moves to send everyone home smiling. Next up, Punk and Rhodes are headed to Glasgow, Scotland for WWE Raw Live at the OVO Hydro this Monday. The straight-edge superstars got plenty on his mind after a triple threat match with him, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns was locked in. Meanwhile, Cody's sharing the spotlight with John Cena for the second Raw in a row. Last week, the two met face-to-face, but no sparks flew between the stars, gunning for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania 41. This wasn't the first time Punk's tried a sneaky move on Cody off-camera. Back on the June 21st, 2024 episode of SmackDown, Punk swooped in with a baseball bat to save Cody from a bloodline beatdown. Later, as they headed backstage, Punk jokingly swung the bat at Cody, caught on video by a fan at the Allstate Arena in Chicago. With Punk tangled up in his own mess with Rollins and Reigns, it's anyone's guess if he'll stick his nose into Cody's brewing clash with Cena, but it sure would heat things up. The truth behind the attack on Jade Cargill. Naomi's big reveal as the one who ambushed Jade Cargill in November has left everyone stunned, sidelining the Storm from WWE TV for almost 4 months. The veteran owned up to it, even saying she wished she'd done it earlier, but the details are still fuzzy. Beyond Naomi shoving Cargill off a high platform onto a car hood and bolting, as Jade herself later spilled. Naomi's bitterness toward Cargill had been simmering, and it boiled over in a promo with Bianca Belair. Before that brutal attack, there weren't many obvious signs of her grudge, or so we thought. Turns out, Naomi dropped a sneaky hint just 1 week prior. A sharp-eyed fan on X caught it in a backstage clip with Naomi, Cargill, Belair, and Bayley. She was all smiles with Belair, but her face twisted into a glare the second Cargill opened her mouth. Naomi didn't deny it either. She quote-tweeted the clip with a caution emoji, her new vibe since flipping to the dark side, pretty much admitting the hate was real. So now the big question hangs in the air. How long had Naomi been plotting to take Cargill down? Was this a spur-of-the-moment snap? Or had she been quietly scheming for weeks, maybe months, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? Penta joins the Judgment Day. Tonight's WWE Raw is about to shake things up big time, with John Cena rolling back into town. On top of that, a blockbuster Intercontinental Championship match is locked in, Braun Breaker defending his belt against Penta. The Masked Warrior got in Breaker's face last week after Braun smashed Finn Balor in the Netflix main event. But hold on tight, because tonight might deliver a jaw-dropping twist. Dominic Mysterio pulling the curtain back to show Penta as Judgment Day's newest bad guy. Dirty Dom tried selling Finn Balor on adding Penta to their nasty crew a while back, but Finn flat out said no. After Balor couldn't snag the IC title last week though, Dominic might have gone rogue, teaming up with Penta behind the scenes to swipe the championship tonight. If Penta jumps into Judgment Day and takes Breaker down, it'd beef up the group's power and slap another title on their shelf, making them even scarier. Here's where it gets messy. Finn's already anti-Penta, so Dominic sneaking him in could spark a full-on war between the two. Word's been floating around that Balor might ditch Judgment Day soon, and Penta joining could shove that breakup into high gear. It's going to be wild watching this all explode when Penta and Breaker slug it out for the IC title tonight. Meanwhile, Dominic's been tossing his 2 cents into John Cena's heel drama too. The franchise player just dumped the WWE universe, calling it a toxic mess, and posted a clip of Leonardo DiCaprio living it up in The Wolf of Wall Street. Dominic liked it, basically cheering Cena's fan split. With both guys getting drowned in booze, a clash between Dirty Dom and Cena could turn the heat up to 11. Tonight's Raw is primed to be a total game changer. Becky Lynch returns on Raw amid a troubling situation. WrestleMania 41 is closing in fast, and everyone's talking about Becky Lynch crashing back into WWE. The man's been off TV since May last year, but a messy situation on Raw tonight in Glasgow, Scotland, might just drag her back into the ring. It all ties to Lyra Valkyria and her Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra made history as the first champ, but the 28-year-old's been stuck in the shadows, bouncing between pointless title defenses with no clear path to WrestleMania. Tonight, WWE could flip the script by bringing Becky Lynch back to challenge for her gold. Lyra's set to face Raquel Rodriguez in a title match, and she's likely to hang on to the belt. But after the bell, Liv Morgan and Rodriguez might jump Valkyria, until Lynch storms in to save the day. Once she's chased off the Judgment Day pair, Becky could lock eyes with Lyra and that shiny title. A hard stare at the gold might scream she's gunning for the champ. That one moment could shove Lyra into the spotlight and make the new women's belt feel bigger. Sure, this is just a guess for now, but it's got a real shot at happening on Raw tonight. It's anyone's guess what WWE's cooking up for Lyra and her title. Becky's one of the all-time greats, piled up wins and glory like few others. Fans have been dying for her to tangle with Lyra, her own protege. If it goes down, it'll twist folks up since both are crowd darlings, making it tough to pick a side. To shake things up, Becky might flip heel, turning it into a clear good vs evil fight with the young champ. After her return, she could step up, say she's chasing the Women's Intercontinental title, and swear she'll do whatever it takes, even stab Lyra in the back. That betrayal could spark a fire between them, building to a massive WrestleMania 41 showdown. Word is, Becky's been working on a fresh character for her comeback too. What better place to unleash it than the grandest stage? Facing a pure hero like Lyra could be the perfect launch pad for the man's new vibe. Tonight's Raw might just set it all off. Jey Uso is set to miss WrestleMania 41. On tonight's episode of WWE Raw, Jey Uso is set to engage in a tag team match against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. The identity of the Yeet Master's partner remains a mystery and will be disclosed on the spot during the show. Many believe Jey's partner will be none other than Jimmy Uso. However, irrespective of who partners main event, Jey, the OG Bloodline member may face some significant challenges during the match, as Gunther may either send Ludwig Kaiser or interfere himself to decimate this year's Men's Royal Rumble winner. The attack could lead to Grayson Waller and Austin Theory emerging as the winners. This victory could help A-Town Down Down earn a World Tag Team title shot down the line. Meanwhile, a potential brutal attack on Jey could lead to him getting hospitalized, jeopardizing his WrestleMania 41 match against the Ring General. However, in reality, it's unlikely that their Mania match will be affected in any way. It's important to note that the Triple H-led creative team may book this angle to elevate the hype for the World Heavyweight Championship match in Las Vegas. Further, this angle will allow the company to put the Samoan twin in an underdog position, helping Jey Uso gather more support from the WWE Universe. That said, the angle is speculative at this point. The Yeet Master recently took to social media to post the official WrestleMania 41 matchcard graphics of his encounter with Gunther on his Instagram stories. The former Intercontinental Champion made a major statement as he wrote, "World Shocker 2 times." This message seemingly implies that the OG Bloodline member is ready to shock the world for the second time after his monumental victory in the Men's Royal Rumble. In this year's Men's Royal Rumble match, Jey last eliminated John Cena to emerge as the victor. It seems like the 39-year-old star is ready to surprise the WWE Universe for the second time by dethroning the ring general at the show of shows. Jey Uso is currently on a dream singles run, and it will be interesting to see if he becomes the World Heavyweight Champion in Vegas next month. Why Paul Heyman is betraying Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41 is the talk of the wrestling world, and it's all heating up after a wild SmackDown moment. Wrestling legend Tommy Dreamer has weighed in, stirring the pot with a big theory and a little clarification to keep things straight. Here's why this twist might go down. Heyman and CM Punk have a deep bond, stretching back years, and now it's coming into play big time. On SmackDown, Punk smirked and winked at Heyman, dropping a line about how the wise man served Reigns up to him on a silver platter. That's got everyone wondering about a favor Heyman owes Punk, one he hasn't paid back yet. At WrestleMania, Reigns is stepping into a triple threat match against Punk and Seth Rollins, and Dreamer thinks Heyman might not have Roman's back like he used to. On Busted Open Radio, Dreamer laid it out plain and simple. He believes Heyman could call the shots on who wins, and he's leaning toward Punk. Why? Punk's in the ring week after week, while Reigns isn't around as much. Dreamer says Heyman as a character always chases the cash, and maybe Roman's not the moneymaker he once was compared to Punk. But here's the catch. Dreamer made it clear he's talking about the storyline Heyman, not the real guy. The wise man's been glued to Reigns' side forever, never flinching in his loyalty. So if he does stab Roman in the back, it'd be a massive shock, especially since Reigns is riding high as a fan favorite now. Imagine the boos if Heyman flips. Triple H locked in this huge match after SmackDown, and with Heyman holding so much sway, he could tip the scales. Will he stick with his tribal chief or cash in that favor with Punk? It's all guesswork for now, but if Dreamer's right, this could be one of the wildest betrayals WWE's seen in years. WrestleMania's about to get messy. Roman Reigns punishes Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns roared back to WWE on this week's SmackDown, with Paul Heyman right by his side. The night erupted with a huge showdown between the OTC, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Things got so heated that the 3 stars started swinging, forcing security and Nick Aldis to storm the ring and break it up. After that chaos, WWE dropped the bombshell, a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41 with all 3 locked in. But before they get there, Reigns might lay down the law with his own wise man. On SmackDown, Punk strolled in last, grinning as he thanked Heyman for handing Reigns over to him. Roman shot a confused look at the Hall of Famer, who just stood there looking lost. Before he could dig deeper, Punk pounced on him. Next time on SmackDown, we might see Reigns corner Heyman and demand answers about where his loyalty lies, especially since Heyman's always had a soft spot for Punk. Back on Raw, when Reigns jumped Punk and Rollins in their steel cage match, Heyman was caught consoling the best in the world. Then on SmackDown, Punk's little thank you made it sound like he and Heyman had set a trap for the OTC. Reigns could snap, punishing Heyman for cozying up to Punk and ordering him to cut ties completely before their WrestleMania clash. Having Heyman stuck in the middle would spice up this story big time, and the next few weeks could be a roller coaster. For now, though, this is just a guess. Nothing's set in stone. The triple threat with Reigns, Punk, and Rollins is shaping up to be a war, flipping back and forth with no easy winner unless something wild flips the script. Punk might cash in that old favor from Heyman, begging him to ditch Reigns and become his wise man at WrestleMania. If Heyman pulls a fast one and betrays the tribal chief for Punk, it'd flip the whole match upside down and set the stage for a one-on-one explosion between Reigns and Punk later. Their team up at Survivor Series 2024 pulled in millions of views, showing fans are hungry for that fight. But all this is just talk for now. With WrestleMania creeping closer, the road to this triple threat showdown is about to get crazy.